Alright, hello everyone, here we are, back for Cliff Par 4 with the new notebook app. Now I'm probably going to lay up here. You can go for the green. I don't think you'll probably more than not get on the green, but you can go that route if you so choose and have a very reasonable rough pitch, sometimes the bunker. But equally as, possible, in my opinion, especially you can see that I'm just going to kind of aim for the center. I'm not going to try to really topspin or anything. But you see that I used about a plus 10% shooting down over some water. 5.3 rings right around here. A little bit of an overplay to account for wind effect. And just try to put it out in play to give yourself a short iron. So here you can see that it just kind of goes down past the shadow, and this is exactly where I like to see the ball. Right in between in the sun here is kind of where it sets up to where I always know that it's kind of right at the mid-club number. It almost spot on falls to your mid-club number when you get in that range every time. So as I mentioned, you can go a little bit more aggressively. Another thing that you can do is very similar to what my opponent's doing, which is less aggressive and just more about curl and position, and hopefully get it into that little fairway cove if you get this curl down just right. So that actually looks pretty good. Let's see how it winds up. And this is exactly where I was mentioning. Now, did it get down past that tree enough? I'm not sure. But there you can see you'll have another kind of straightforward pitch. But it's really not necessarily any better than what I'm doing. And as I mentioned, we will be close to min club. However, with a situation like this, you're going to see that I'm going to add some percentage. Maybe I will just use my mid-ring adjustment number and just add, I'm going to, in this case, maybe use 15% for a straight headwind. It's going to kind of change the complexity of the shot as to how it rolls out. You can see with what I'm doing topspin-wise and how I'm just kind of putting it onto the hole. And as I mentioned, I'm going to use that mid number that it returns, which is 5.3 rings. I missed my perfect ball. It's probably going to cost me. Shoot it out towards the right, and here you can see, speed-wise, pretty good. So keep in mind that the elevation trick, it's not something I'm always going to use. I'm going to use very flat. I'm going to use pretty much a +0, maybe +5 as an overcorrection. But I'm only using +15 there because of the fact that it's straight into the wind, and the wind's not as linear as we'd like it to be. So when you get into a strong headwind like that, it's going to compound very rapidly. As opposed to being kind of one-to-one in the ring situation, it's going to stack and kind of double a little bit. It's not necessarily a double, but it's increasing at a much higher rate. So watching my channel and just kind of picking up on the way that I do this, the more that you practice with it and hear me say it, it's going to start to click as, you can watch a lot. I've done a lot of these new tutorials for Tour 10 and also Tour 11 so far. So if you want to check those two tours out, pretty much Tour 11 is almost virtually only new content so far because we've never played from that third tee box. This Tour 10 is going to be kind of a mixed bunch. So you can kind of analyze the tours. A good indicator for you to find what's new and what's not, all the holes that say Tour 10, the only course that stayed here was Cliff holes. So Cliff could be a pretty mixed bag, but the rest are brand new holes into this tour.